Good afternoon, scholars of room 502. I hope you're doing well. I am. Got my glasses. Hey, let's do some language arts, benchmark. Remember, if you don't have your text for close reading, have your parents give me a text and I will see what I can do to get you a copy of different points of view. Let's refresh our memory and take a look at the essential question. This is a very essential question. This is what do we learn when we look at the world through the eyes of others? And we learn a lot. We found that already. When we read Here Boy, we saw the world through Opal's eyes, and Waiting for Stormy with a third-person narrator, and talking about what Maureen and Paul were thinking. And we've also read A Dog's Life, where we got to see what this dog, the poor little dog out there. And we've started Quiet, the story about Lad, a dog, a classic story of a courageous collie. So today's lesson is going to cover using sensory and descriptive words. And we're going to go back to Here Boy, and I'm going to use my red pen. You can use your highlighter if you happen to have it in your Avid binder. Hope you do. And what our goal is today is we're going to be able to use sensory details to convey experiences and events precisely. All right. So let's take a look at one way to begin responding to our prompt. And our prompt is this. I'm sorry, I'm going to turn the page all the way back here to 21. This is what we're going to be writing, and hopefully we'll get some writing done. And it says, our writing text says, imagine that Lad, the dog from Quiet, we haven't finished that story, had to guard the farm animals described in Waiting for Stormy. Using details from both texts, from Waiting for Stormy and from Quiet, write a first-person narrative from Lad's point of view describing what this guard duty would be like for him. So, I'm sorry, we have Here Boy, and when we use sensory and descriptive words, like from the video yesterday, they talked about like things you see, things you smell, touch, taste, and hear. And so in this story, which we read a few times, Here Boy, we can see that a lot of it is what Opal is seeing, all the activity that's going around. And that's one of the sensory descriptions she makes. The big ugly dog having a great time, manager doesn't care what's going on because he's crying. So it's largely what she sees. But our prompt is looking at Waiting for Stormy and Lad. So let's start off with Waiting for Stormy. And we are going to look for words that and phrases that describe the animals and setting in Waiting for Stormy. So all of this is about Paul and Maureen, right? The first part of the story. We don't get to the animals till the very end. See, remember that was Paul's dream that she was caught in the bog. So we don't get to the animal activities until the very end, where it says Misty is doing fine. Remember, Maureen and Paul are anxious about their horse Misty, although worried Misty is doing just fine. So what kind of sensory details do we have here that describe life for Misty? Well, let's find out. We're going to start off with back home in Misty's shed, all was warm contentment. So I'm going to circle warm contentment right at the top there. And that's describing how she's feeling. There was plenty of hay in the manger, good hay, here and there some sweet bush clover. So I'm going to circle sweet bush clover. That's kind of using a taste, right? Sweet bush clover. And also we're going to continue on. And a block of salt hollowed out from the many lickings. So I'm going to circle block of salt hollowed out. We can see that block of salt, can't we? I can kind of taste it. I'm getting kind of a tasty, salty taste. And we're going to continue on. From many lickings so that her tongue just fit it, she worked at it in slow delight, her tongue stroke stopping occasionally as she turned to watch a little brown hen. So here's something she sees. I'm going to circle a little brown hen. And it's rounding out a nest in the corner of the stall. Fearlessly the hen let Misty walk around her as if she liked company, and every now and again she made soft clucking sounds. Well, let's circle she made soft clucking sounds, because that's something we hear. That's a sense. Out on the marsh, Billy Blaze and Watch Eyes, pretending to be stallions, fought and neighed over the little band of mares. Misty looked out at them for a long time. Then she went to her manger and slowly began munching her hay. Let's circle slowly munching her hay. And the hen, now satisfied with her nest, fluffed out her feathers, and let's circle that, fluffing out her feathers, and settled herself to lay one tiny brown egg. And what do we have here? Here, contentment is closed in on them like a soft cocoon, and that's definitely how it feels, like a soft cocoon. So those are some of the sensory and descriptive words in Waiting for Misty. And tomorrow we're going to work on lad and circle some of those words too, so we describe lad. So this was used to describe the animals in Waiting for Stormy. And tomorrow we'll look at lad and look for words that describe him, although we already wrote a few down. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Remember, if you don't have your text for closed reading, have your parents shoot me off a text or an email, and I will try to get one out to you, okay? For Unit 5 too, which you might get to Unit 5. Thank you.